Welcome from the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Livestock Systems. This training module will explain how to develop training manuals that are designed for use by trainers. This video is the 7th in the series on how to develop a Training of Trainers manual. The learning objective in the last video was to develop session plans for a training need. By the end of this video, you will be able to develop agendas for a workshop. In a Training of Trainers manual, agendas help the trainer to determine which activities can be taught in a given time frame, what a logical order of activities are, and the objectives that the agenda would cover. A quality Training of Trainers manual may have several suggested agendas based on common training timeframes. For example, it might include agendas that span 2 hours, half a day, a full day, or multiple day scenarios. As mentioned in the last slide, an agenda will include all of the objectives that are covered in the agenda schedule. The objective should also be provided next to the activity names. This will allow the trainer to quickly see which activities match which objectives. The activity names may include the type of activity, such as icebreaker, brainstorming, and short lecture. It will also include the formal name of the activity so that the trainer can look it up in the manual. An activity description is helpful for trainers to quickly look over an agenda and determine which agenda activities might be best for his or her needs. The length of time suggested for each activity is also included. This helps the trainer to quickly see how long an activity will take, which is particularly useful if you are making adaptations to the suggested agenda. It is also helpful to provide the page number of where each activity is located in the manual. It is important to include activities that introduce participants to one another and foster trust and positive communication. Icebreakers are an example of this. And don't forget breaks and transition time. This example agenda is a full day agenda, so there is a morning break, a lunch break, and a break for travel time to a field site. Finally, it is important to include knowledge checks and evaluations to determine if the participants have reached mastery of the objectives. In this agenda, there are 2 such activities. The first is a case study where the participants will use photos to identify common livestock diseases. The second is a field practice where the participants will conduct a basic health examination and administer vaccines to dairy cattle. Note that both of these activities are simultaneously instructive and evaluative. This is common in many of these kinds of trainings. They could be used as a knowledge check that is also instructive or as a formal evaluation method. Now for a brief review. Which of the following agenda components are suggested to be included in a high-quality Training of Trainers manual? A. A list of the learning objectives. B. The activity name and type. C. The duration of the activity. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of these components are suggested in a high-quality Training of Trainers manual. Please continue to the final video in the series, Review.